In 1997, Cartoon Network was in the middle of the cartoon wars with Nickelodeon and Disney Channel. In order to gain more viewers, Cartoon Network decided to create a new after-school programming block. Rather than just show old episodes of popular shows, Cartoon Network decided that they would show kids something they hadn't seen before, and thus the programming block known as Toonami was born. Toonami, modeled slightly after Cartoon Network's already successful Adult Swim program, was hosted by the cartoon robot Tom, and each day after school, Tom would deliver a couple-hour block of English-dubbed animes such as Sailor Moon, Naruto, and Dragon Ball Z to kids across the nation. The block was a massive success and continues to this day, but more importantly, this after-school block introduced kids and teens to anime, thus bringing anime to the attention of the nation. Gone were the days of anime only being watched by people of Japanese ancestry. Now everyone was watching it. Ever since the mid-90s, anime has become increasingly popular among people. Because of this newfound popularity, anime has had a huge impact on the American culture. For those who aren't sure what anime exactly is, anime is simply any animated cartoon from Japan. Many distinguishing features of anime include exaggerated body parts, such as muscles or eyes on characters, and just the overall aesthetic of the art style at large. While only a very small segment of people actually watched anime until the 1990s, since then, anime has become more mainstream in America, with most kids growing up watching at least one anime show on a regular basis, like Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z. Because of this prevalence, anime has become a major influence on our American culture in a multitude of areas. One way in which anime has impacted the US is fashion, with many US brands collaborating with animes on t-shirts or shoes, or as in the case with the shirt in the bottom left-hand corner, creating their own anime characters' designs for their shirts. But in rare cases, some animes get their own full clothing line, like the one in the right-hand corner, which is based off the anime Evangelion. Another really interesting way in which anime has impacted US fashion has been the creation of everyday outfits based on the clothes characters wear in anime. With so many animes taking place in real life, people have begun blogs showing fashion-conscious people how to style themselves like the characters they see in the animes, many of which are very stylish in themselves. Speaking of outfits based on anime, probably the biggest impact of anime on fashion comes in the form of cosplay. Cosplay, which is short for costume play, is the term used for when people dress up as a fictional character. While that is a very short way of describing it, cosplay has become a phenomenon in the US, with blogs and TV shows dedicated to the craft, and cosplay models becoming minor celebrities. One strange but very interesting way in which anime has impacted us is how anime has impacted our music, especially hip-hop. When one thinks of hip-hop culture, most would have a hard time imagining that anime has had any impact on our music, and yet anime has had an extreme impact on many hip-hop and rap artists. Three artists who have been majorly impacted by anime are Pharrell, Kanye, and Lupe Fiasco. Pharrell, a noted anime fan, has not only done multiple anime-based music videos, but has even appeared in an anime movie. As for Kanye, not only is he a gigantic fan of anime, but he created a whole album based off anime, featuring both samples and anime-influenced lyrics. Lupe Fiasco, a friend of Kanye's, famously compared himself to a highly popular character in a cameo appearance on Kanye's Touch the Sky. But Lupe is not the only one to rap about anime. From gangster rap artists like Lil Wayne and Waka Flocka Flame, to street-conscious artists like RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan and Childish Gambino, to urban philosophers like Raction Bronson, many rappers have been so impacted by anime that they feel it necessary to have lyrics about these shows, which in turn has influenced their fans. However, the largest example of anime's influence on US music has been Hatsune Miku, the computer-generated voice program whose avatar is a young female anime character, and one of the biggest musical artists in the world. To call this character an increasingly popular figure in the US would be a slight understatement, as this anime program has not only performed on The Tonight Show and collaborated with Pharrell, but has also sold out shows in major venues in both New York City and Los Angeles. The largest impact that anime has had, though, has to be in terms of our pop culture. Look at the 4 movies up here. Chances are you've seen at least one of these movies, and I guess some of you have seen all of them. Many of you would probably include at least one of these movies in your top movies of all time. But how many of you knew these were all based off animes? In fact, all of these movies can trace their roots back to animes, which is incredible when one thinks about it. Here are movies that have received numerous accolades from both critics and award shows, and yet, if it weren't for their predecessors, there's a good chance that none of these now classic American movies would have ever existed, especially The Lion King, which is nearly identical to an anime from the 1950s called Kim of the White Lion. But to say that anime's influence only extends to be used for remakes would be completely false. Many recent movies and TV shows have not only been inspired by anime, such as The Matrix, which was inspired by the movie Ghost in the Shell, but many programs contain numerous anime references, with The Big Bang Theory leading the way in the anime reference department, with usually a small reference every week. Anime's influence isn't just for adults though, as the anime aesthetic has now been adopted by many American cartoons, who are applying the anime-esque artwork to their own shows. Starting with cartoons like Avatar The Last Airbender and Samurai Jack in the early 2000s, many shows and movies have now adopted this anime style and characters due to the influence of anime on how we like our anime content to look like. But the coolest example of how anime has impacted our own pop culture is RWBY. Released in the fall of 2013, RWBY was the first ever anime to be produced in America. While there is debate on how to exactly label RWBY, the fact that an anime has been made by a completely American staff goes to show just how impacted we have been by anime. However, it's not just our programming part of pop culture that's been impacted by anime, but many famous stars such as the late Robin Williams, Robert Pattinson, and Leonardo DiCaprio, all of whom have fiercely advocated to do multiple live-action remakes of anime movies, are die-hard anime fans, in a culture like ours that values celebrity so much. Their love of anime has only helped integrate the anime culture into our own. For some, you may be feeling a bit uneasy right now, as many people still think of anime as very weird or odd, or in some cases, a corruption of the American public. I'm here to tell you that uneasiness is fine. Just because anime has impacted our culture doesn't mean you have to go out and watch all of Dragon Ball Z or Sailor Moon, but rather it is important to understand that our American culture, a culture that is an amalgamation of so many other cultures, has adopted bits and pieces of the anime culture and made it part of our own. Whether you like it or not, anime has become a huge influence on us, and with the new generation being exposed to it at younger ages, will only continue to grow in its influence on our own culture. And for those few who hold us that still don't want to accept that anime is part of our culture, especially the females, let me say this. Zac Efron loves anime. If you want to be with Zac Efron, you had better get on the anime bandwagon. And also to those that are thinking that's just a stupid cartoon, it's not a cartoon, it's anime.